milkshake brings a boy to the yard.
My height in Subway sandwiches is 5 Subway sandwiches and 1 cookie. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to my friend Liam, who graciously lent me his DSLR. So if you see a huge jump in video quality, that is why. The audio may still be a bit crap because I don't have a mic, but that may come in due course. So today I will be transforming this skirt that I picked up from the thrift a while ago. I'm just gonna have to take in the waist, and what I'm gonna do then is like just chop it at some mini skirt length level and hopefully work the rest of the fabric into a milkmaid puff sleeve top. About the fabrication of this skirt, it is 45% lyocell and 55% linen. I generally tend to like it when the linen is mixed with another fiber, because if it's 100% linen, I find that it crinkles a bit too much. You can literally iron it 1 second and as soon as you put it on, it has 1,000 wrinkles in it, and it's like you never even ironed it at all. I gravitate towards buying linen products because I read somewhere that it's much more sustainable than other types of fibers because of how durable it is, and like at some point in history they used to make money out of linen, so I guess that's an interesting fact for the day. I mean, I really like the color. It's like this gorgeous berry color, and it actually really goes well with my current top as well.
This is what it looks like before. It's a skirt with a zipper, and it is constructed with 6 panels of fabric princess seamed together. There's quite a bit to take in at the waist, so I was wondering how I should fix that at the start.
I just wanted to explain a little bit about where this whole milkmaid top trends came from. So apparently, according to a Vox article that I quickly skimmed, this trend started with Prada's Spring 2017 collection, and they had a whole bunch of clothes that were characterized by big puffy sleeves, a square neckline, and a corseted bodice. Now, not everyone can afford Prada, so who really brought it into the mainstream space is Reformation. Not that we can all afford a Reformation either. This part of the article actually made me laugh a little bit, so I'm gonna read it out. There is also something about the idea of a milkmaid that is inherently sexy.
Inherently sexy.
It's a profession you can easily imagine on the cover of a romance novel. After all, the story writes itself. Dashing nobleman notices that the poor young milkmaid is hot and somehow has perfect skin despite working directly with livestock. They begin a forbidden affair. Maybe she ends up deciding he sucks and she's better off hanging out with the goat. So this is like my favorite mini skirt ever, so I'm just gonna use that as a length guide and cut this bad boy up. I think we just have to pray that we have enough fabric to make the top. I'm actually like a bit apprehensive. Where are my shears? Found it. A tiny hem. Ta-da! But first I need to figure out if I have enough fabric to make a top out of this. I have this at least. Pretty much this skirt has these like bias strips. I'm gonna rip them all out. Gosh, I love seam ripping. I feel like seam ripping is like every sewer's woe. Oh god, I need some music. Front waistband part of a typical milkmaid top, I'm just gonna go with a measuring tape and like measure across here. I just prefer to use inches over centimeters because the increments are larger, therefore the number I need to like know is like a smaller number, if that makes any sense. I don't know why, but people in Australia have started to like measure their height by feet and inches. I don't know why, because we use the metric system in Australia. Maybe it's like the influence of dating apps. And there's like that whole meme about how girls want guys to be 6 foot tall. When I imagine a foot, the only measurement system in my brain that I can use to like visualize a foot is a Subway sandwich. If I'm 160 centimeters tall, apparently that's 5 feet and 3 inches. So my height in Subway sandwiches is 5 Subway sandwiches and 1 cookie. The diameter of 1 cookie is about 3 inches. What the hell is a yard? I've become aware that it's similar to a meter, but like I need some sort of object to be able to compare. Totally distracted. Now the next thing, I think, to create that like ruched effect on the boob area, measure to the center again. So I'm getting about 18 inches. We want to go 1.5 times that. So what's 18 times 1.5? 9 times 3. 27. Okay, awesome. Now for the back ruching, measure like that to the center again. God, I can't do maths off the top of my head, please.
Exposing myself like that.
Since the back is 17 inches, we want that to be 1.5 times because we need to account for the shrinkage that the shirring elastic will add to the fabric. I want to measure how far I want the strap. The reason that I am adding straps to the top without just doing like an elastic hem on the shoulder is because I've actually made a shirred puff sleeve top before, and when I just did the elastic, I just sort of felt uncomfortable. It's not the nicest feeling on your shoulder to just have like elastic on it the whole day. So my solution is to make fabric straps and then attach the sleeve to that strap. So sorry, I'm all over the place, but just like, because we need the ruching to like curve over the bust area, make sure you just like measure on top of your boob to get like the height.
So that's about 8 inches, I think. Back, I want the back to be about 10 inches, I think.
So I've written down these measurements. Okay, so forget what I said before about the whole bra thing, because I think I'm just gonna use like a gathering stitch. I couldn't get the pins to stay in place, so whatever.
Then I cut 2 straps. I'm just eyeballing the thickness of the straps as I cut it. Then I cut the 2 back strips to go on the side of the shirring.
This is just a standard sleeve pattern that I have traced from one of my clothing items, so you can just use like a t-shirt pattern or whatever. If I was actually going to create a proper puff sleeve, I would cut slits down this sleeve and then spread it on my pattern, but I do not have that, so I'm just going to sort of mimic that effect and hope for the best.
I tried to cut out the sleeves as wide as possible.
That's my fault for not checking things properly. Okay, to solve this problem, I'm actually going to use the bias tapes again and create like a pattern on the sleeve as if it's intentional, so I'll do that to both sides and we're just going to have to deal with that. So this is the lining fabric that was underneath the skirt, and I'm just going to use that to create the back shirring piece.
When you shirr fabric, make sure the width is 1.5 times the amount you want because it will shrink by about 1/3. The lining fabric is just for underneath the ruched chest area, and I thought it might be just worth drawing it on paper first. Shirring takes me so long to do. I think the back piece took me over an hour, and I always prepare 2 bobbins in advance just so you don't have to stop halfway to wrap elastic again. We're going to attach these little strips to the side of the shirring panel. Right sides together, stitch down here, right sides together, stitch down this side. Then I put a basting stitch along the top and bottom edge of the chest piece so we can gather them. I use the chest lining piece as a guide so I know how much to gather.
I think we want it more bunched up around the boob. I don't know.
Just make sure you put it onto your chest and see that you like where the pleats are sitting before you sew it together. Then I trim the excess edges and flip it right side out. I also went and attached the front waist piece and back piece. Like at the perfect length, like it's fitting just where my waist is, and I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna add in the straps really quickly. Pin the straps at your desired place and stitch down. The prudent thing to have done would have been to wedge the strap in between the ruching and the lining, but like always, my brain fails to think ahead. I then gather the curve of the sleeve and attach it to the top. Then I add 3 rows of shirring to the sleeve for that frilly look. We are on day 2. My boyfriend's on Skype call with me and he's like judging me so hard right now. I pretty much finished sewing the top last night. So all that's left for me to do on this project is actually hemming the skirt and taking it in at the waist. I think I might just put it on, measure how much is left over, and hopefully like transfer those measurements into making 2 darts at the back. I had 7 inches to take in, so I made 2 darts 3.5 inches wide in the back of the skirt. This is my boyfriend working from home and scrumptiously eating his lunch. Then I hemmed the lining and the skirt. Because I couldn't be bothered to go and press the hem, I folded once and sewed, and folded again and sewed. A little bit frumpy on the bum. Maybe the frumpiness is good because it makes my butt look big, who knows. Finally, I hand stitched the bow to the top. Whilst editing, I've realised it's off center, but what can you do now? Okay, so this top actually is slightly longer. I don't want to crop it anymore because when I wear this with other bottoms, I think I would prefer if the top actually just came down to this length. But for the purposes of wearing it together with this skirt and achieving more of that Instagram look, I'll just fold it up like this. I don't know if I already mentioned that me being thankful for a new camera is my gratitude exercise today, but like, yes, that's it.
Inherently sexy.
Then she met me at the college. Her friends play my songs and they been following me. Yeah, I don't like to do that much explaining and talking. Just know she had coffee with me. Yeah, I hear you like pizza and dancing. Love that is not that romantic. Yeah, I don't have no time for no antics. Fly on, smile for the cameras. Oh, they like me now. Go ahead, wipe me down. She don't got a man, cause he ain't lock it down. Hey, do you think of me when I'm not around? Jaw hit the ground when you walk around. Looking like, look like art. Look like art. Look like art. Look like art. Look
out so good. Like, it turned out exactly like I had envisioned. Like, look at that. Dreams do come true, people.
Looking like, look like art, hot hills, look like art, on it, look like art, look like